Hi, everybody. Economic development in Humboldt, right? Here we are. So I'm Steve Madrone, your Humboldt County 5th District Supervisor, and that is most of northern Humboldt County, everything north and east of the Mad River, except for the town of Blue Lake. And so it's a very big district and very diverse, mostly rural, and it only has one city in the 5th District, and that's the city of Trinidad, one of the first cities to be established in the state of California back during the gold rush. And it's still only a population of 250, 300 people. I live just outside the town of Trinidad, up the hill at about 700 feet of elevation, so out of the fog every day in a little sun belt. And I live there with my 4 kids and 20 grandkids. They don't all live on the property, but about half of them do. So we're lucky to have a piece of property. We've got a couple of houses and several cabins, and we're able to have our extended family, which for me and my sweetheart Oceana, that was our life's dream, was to be able to have a village, of our extended family. So we've been lucky to have that. Not everybody's lucky enough to have a home, so we count our blessings every day for what we have. What brought me to Humboldt was I grew up in Orange County in Southern California, in the orange groves, you might say, when there were orange groves. And I was a Boy Scout, and we went up to the Sierras every summer. And I thought everybody at the campground, down at the store, I thought everybody was a forest ranger. And I learned at a young age that, boy, I want to live where people like to vacate, to go on vacation. And so I would say to people when they'd ask you, well, what are you going to be when you grow up, right? And I'd say, well, I want to be a forest ranger. And they would say, well, you should go to Humboldt College, because that's what it was back then. Then it became Humboldt State University, and now Cal Poly Humboldt. So I came to Humboldt because people told me if I wanted to be a forest ranger, that was the place to come. In the 70s, once I got here, I quickly realized that I wanted to plant trees more than I wanted to cut them down. Although I cut trees, I am a logger on my own land, trying to take care of it. But I really wanted to do something different. So I got very involved in the Redwood National Park expansion effort in the 70s, and I was a coordinator of a student committee who was really the driving force behind not only expanding Redwood National Park, but adopting a watershed restoration program that has now become something that people are doing all over the planet. It's a new industry we created in Humboldt County to repair roads, to take care of the health of our forests and our watersheds, restore salmon habitat, build trails, all these natural resource type things. So I was very lucky to learn how to do that at school, but then very quickly got involved with a lot of nonprofits and for-profits that I formed with my friends, and we got involved in watershed restoration, and we started moving forward. And at one point in 1983, I got hired by Redwood Community Action Agency in Eureka, and eventually became the Natural Resources Director there, and was honored to be put in a position of working with Humboldt County and the state of California to complete the Hammond Trail here in McKinleyville, and to work on various sections of the California Coastal Trail, because we knew that not only would that be wonderful for local residents, but it could become a piece of an economic engine for our community to attract tourism and things like that. So I've been working on that for the last 40 years, and feel very blessed, with those opportunities. In doing that, I've spent a lot of time in McKinleyville, which is in many ways the heart of the district, as the biggest population in the 5th District. Should be a city, but it's not yet, and we're working on that, trying to identify what it would take to incorporate and see if the residents want to do that. But in developing the Hammond Trail, I started learning a lot about other assets in McKinleyville, like the Vista Point facility out on Highway 101, which is very dysfunctional. So if you're driving Highway 101 north from the Bay Area, you come over that bluff and see the ocean and Trinidad, that's $1 million view. Yeah. And it's an economic engine again, right? These little things that can attract investment and money. And so 30 some years ago, I started imagining changing that Vista Point into something more functional, where you would get off at the airport road exit and be able to get into the Vista Point whether you're going north or south. And then it turns out the county owns a parcel on the south side of the Vista Point that Caltrans owns, and we would put a visitor center there with a picnic area and maybe bicycle camping, right? Small bicycle camping slots right there on the bluff. We do that according to the owner of the airport business park, Steve Mosier. He has said once the Vista Point Park is completed, it will draw so many visitors off the highway that he will have more motels in his business park. It's all permitted to do this already, in the business park, and other Cal Poly Tech, light tech things, other things working with the university. He said his business park will fill out within 5 to 10 years. So we got the Vista Point Park. We've got the airport business park, which adjoins the airport, that's increasing in service and business. And then we've got the town center, which we're standing in now. This is Pearson Park at Azalea Hall. And it is a major component to our existing town center. But behind the Safeway, there's a lot of vacant land. And we're working with Ann Pearson, who owns the property. And she has always had a vision of having a character to the town, something other than a chain store, Main Street, USA, anywhere, right? But something with character where people would get out of their cars, sit on benches, have restaurants overlooking duck ponds and other really neat trail systems. So we're working with her and the community to draft a town center ordinance that will put into place all of the elements to be able to help that development occur with the vision that the community has. So again, I feel very lucky to have come here 49 years ago, and my family is here, and all these incredible opportunities in our community to bring people together, working on common visions to support small businesses. Because when people are on vacation, they don't want to go to the chain stores so much. They've been there, they can go there anytime. They want to go to the little cafes, the arts and crafts stores, mountain bike, go, out on the ocean and fish, or go up the rivers and raft. We've got it all here, right? So by creating these visitor serving facilities, town centers with character, we will change the economic future of McKinleyville and North Humboldt County dramatically. And then, of course, there's many other areas in the district, like Oric, that is going through, hopefully, a renaissance over the next 20 years. They've been kind of left behind. We got to get them a sewer system of some kind, sewage treatment, but they're ready to explode. They're at the entrance of a national park. We've got Willow Creek out in the sun with all the river rafting, all the recreation and everything else. So it's a big district, and economic development looks different for each part of that, like it does anywhere, in California or the world, right? But very exciting opportunities for our future, and I look forward to working with the community to help make those things happen.